something happened only yesterday. Rivers claim of having a gold medal was truncated by the host state, Edo State. It ended 30-20 at the end. Everyone expected Rivers was going to win gold in this event.
I mean, the last time Rivers won gold, in Uyo, and expectedly when it comes to basketball, Rivers is always a team to beat because we have a coach in Fobara, but who also, have grown these players, for tournaments like this or for games like this. So, I mean, a lot of us were not satisfied when we saw that result, 40-30, final result. It's a lot of us were not happy that we didn't clinch or defended our gold. And so, but I think that Fobara did explain that the boys lacked focus at the last stage, the last quarter of the game. And in basketball, you need to be focused, you need to be up and doing the buzzer. So I think that's where we lost it. But congratulations to the guys, at least they got a medal for it.
Well, congratulations to the Rivers. They had silver, but gold went the way of the Edo State team. And talking about the second edition of the National Delta Games, something bizarre seemed to have happened. A boxer from Edo State, not through a punch, but yet won gold medal. It's bizarre in the sense that all of his opponents choose not to. What could be responsible for this?
Because they failed to show for the finals, and that resulted to him walking over, the opponents.
No, why did the opponents fail to show up?
I'm thinking that it's some of these things is it all depends. The story I don't know about the story this morning. I haven't dig deep into the.
No, because I spoke to a couple of guys that they have been in, and the opinion was that the boxer is a renowned boxer. It's not supposed to be.
But they cleared him for it.
He's not supposed to have been cleared for the exercise, and when you compare the age of the boxers that are registered for this competition from the other contingent and his status, everybody choose not to. In fact, in one of the contingents, the Rivers contingent, the coach didn't want to risk the life of his boxer because he knew that there was a clear difference between that boxer from representing Edo State and to that. And it's very disturbing that maybe because the host state, they went behind, tried to register someone who started for this competition. Because if you're a renowned professional boxer, you are not supposed to be part of this exercise.
No, at all. I think that's the winner at all costs, syndrome. It has reared ugly heads again, and it's not good at all. And to know that Edo State are even the one championing this because they are the host. A lot of stuff is done behind the scenes. You cannot question. They have a way of achieving some of these things. You don't know the player, the boxer, until they get to now see them, on the pitch and then investigate, and they discover that this is the age. And when you're a professional boxer, what are you doing there? So I think that the fault is still for not doing that due diligence on some of these names. But I mean, you always get to see some of these things like this. But investigation will be on to see how far, because it doesn't make sense where all your boxers will not appear because of the fright or the fear of fighting you. It doesn't make sense.
Disturbing the developments out there at the second Niger Delta Games. It comes to an end tomorrow in a colorful, what should be a colorful ceremony, but with reports of poor restriction, harassment of athletes and officials. Just hope we will not realize ugly head is into this second edition. But one would have expected that there is better organization than what we saw in Uyo, but now it's beginning to be evident that organization is short of decency and rules which is supposed to be followed. Meanwhile, still at the games, Team Akwa Ibom tennis player Etoro Basi has described her victory over Lorraine Honedov as a thrilling one after reaching the women's singles final at the second Niger Delta Games in Benin City. She's just 18 years of age and said she had no fear going to the match despite Lawrence improvement at the games.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to have an all Akwa Ibomite final because Favor, the lady she played in the last final, is still there, and depending on what she gets in the semi-final. But for her, it's good that she's gotten to the final. She wants to have a repeat of what she did last year, and I think that when players are basking in such euphoria, she will be hoping that she can, get something. With this now, she's already sure. Akwa Ibom, they're sure of medals, no matter what, at least 2 medals.
That reminds me that the host state has as many as 29 gold medals so far, looking at the medals, 12 silver and 15 bronze. That's a whooping 56 medals so far for Edo State, the host, closely followed by Delta and Bayelsa in the 3rd place position.
For Edo State, it looks like they want to host to keep, and I won't be surprised at all with the way they are going about the medal haul. They have done a lot behind the scene, and sometimes some of the efforts, yes, plays out very well because they are the hosts. They have more contingent. They have more contingent competing in, all more the athletes competing in different. They can compete in all because they are the host side. But then it also shows that Enebule, have done just on Enebule, the commissioner, there. Since Sports Commission has really done a lot of work in changing the narrative. Don't forget that Edo State performed woefully and at some of the Mundial last 2-3 years, and so I'm sure they're changing the narrative with what Lagos 2 have done last year. Thinking that come on, we force, why not? And I'm not surprised that they are doing this.
Well, I'm over by what the medals table would look like, because when you end medals by hook and crook, definitely it doesn't. I do not, in my own opinion, I think that is a worthy medal, because hearing of story of where you force, organizers of the competition to register athletes that do not qualify top the mark just because you want to win medals do not sit well with me. But looking at the tables, medals table there, Team Rivers is placed a distant 5th. What could be happening to Team Rivers with all the promises en route Benin?
For Team Rivers, you won't be too surprised. The reason is simple. We've not been winning gold. We have not been winning gold. We have won silver, bronze, but we are not in terms of racking up, the gold medals. We are not, and that seems to be the biggest problem that we. I'm really not disappointed. Even at this point we have to. We want to get, push to the table. We have to start winning gold, and that's the problem because from day one, I knew that this is where we're going to have a lot of issues. But for me, I'm not still part of that. I just saw that it's part of the experience. Recent time we have not had, we have strong fight. Maybe if I don't day to have a different thing altogether. But I'm thinking that when you have even Akwa Ibom getting 6 gold compared to our own 3 gold medal, it tells you the golf in class in terms of the finishing line. We try our best to get to maybe semi-finals, but getting to the finals to win a gold medal becomes a challenge.
Enough for the Niger Data Games. Now let's look at some other athletic story. Nigeria's rising athletic star Jared Ejesan has made the decision to switch his international allegiance from Nigeria to France. The Nigerian-born teenager who moved to France at the age of 1 is currently in the process of obtaining French citizenship. What do you make of this move? Of recent, we've seen change by Nigerian.
For Jason, we've heard these stories. Very good guy when it comes to his discipline, but then with what is happening around recent movements, lots of players from Nigeria to other countries, I'm just thinking that
this looks like the third one.
Is open to us, but then I'm not also perturbed because we have not seen him, display so much in Nigeria, the colors of Nigeria. He's had his time. He was born in France, so somehow he's
an upcoming athlete. He's only 18 years of age, and it would have been better if we keep him and for him to blossom into a full star in the next few years.
That would have been fantastic. But then you ask yourself, does the Athletic Association have plans for some of these players who are based abroad, who are not attuned to coming back home to, you know, aligning with the, it's sometimes difficult, and with the news of players moving around up and down because of welfare issues. Some of these players will miss. When you stay back, you make the marks you have made for Nigeria. Every small thing you do in this country, outside the shores, you know, respect you for it. You know, so I asked my, can he compete in the French colors? These are other challenges, you know, but let's see which one the best for his decision.
Well, talking about athletes and Nigeria, the National Sports Commission has announced that the invited diaspora athletes will make its own debut at the first edition of the National Intermediate Games scheduled for Lagos later this year. It looks like this National Sports Commission still have some plans for these athletes in diaspora.
Yes, it is part of the reforms of the National Sports Commission to see that athletes, you know, that have established themselves via the Village Hope agenda are given a place, you know, part of the initiative. So I think it's good because when you have these athletes, you know, as part of this, it makes them love, it makes them come close. And I think that part of the reason is to see how far they can involve them into that activities of sports in the country, and it's good. My only thinking is that is one thing to say, is another thing to have a lot of stuff all together. I just hope they will not be distracted more, but it's a good initiative.
Good initiative, no doubt, and I think just looking at